Hello YouTube, today I want to show you 3 builds with new trickster ascendancy. It's literally broken on my opinion. You can make too many builds with this new ascendancy, so I will show you some builds. So let's start. First build is trickster with toxic rain or caustic arrow, what you prefer. This builds without cluster. Wait, interesting thing that you use one step ahead passive. It gives you a lot of action speed, so you have very big attack rate for Toxic Rain. You have a lot of defense layer from Escape Artist and Spellbreaker. You have 100 spell suppression, so with Escape Artist you have 1.600 Energy Shield, so 4k life with that Energy Shield is a lot. Also you have Ghost Dance and Mage Bane, but you have enough spell suppression, but if you don't have enough suppression on your gear, you can have Mage Bane and it will be 100. Very powerful damage node polymath. It's provide us sustain all our mana, years and life, and also give us around 30 more damage, because we have a lot of different types of masters. So you have 12 we have 12 different masters in that build with these three. So that polymaths give you 36 more damage. It's a lot. About gems, I'd recommend to use Phantasmal Toxic Rain, level 21 with weight manipulation, Mirage Archer, which is projectile, efficacy and faster attacks for 6 link, or Empower if you have enough currency. For solo targets, you can use Toxic Rain with Focus Ballista, with Withering Touch and multiple totems. Of course, Wither with totems. About auras, you can have Malevolence with Divine Blessing, with our new mastery on increased duration. Malevolence has a duration of 20 seconds, or have duration of 50 seconds, so it's more than enough. And another auras is Grace, Defense Banner and Discipline with Enlighten. So if you don't have Enlighten, you also can have all auras, but Enlighten just to give us a little more unreserved mana. I'd recommend to use Queen of the Forest. It's have over 2k evasion rating, so it's very big for Trickster. Also the Ghoul is insane helmets for mapper builds. It gives us around 1k evasion rating because of Energy Shield and Trickster ascendancy. Simple Chaos Bow with +3 level to our Toxic and Chaos Dot. If you have currency, you can have a bow with attack speed. Simple weapon with damage over time multiplier, life and resist. Gloves with Chaos damage over time multiplier and suppress. Boots with movement speed and resistance. Amulet with damage over time multiplier and +1. Unit stats, resist and maybe despair or non-channeling skills mana cost. Belt, any belt is good with life, resist and all. Just simple Abyssal with blind, it's a little bit defensive layer. Simple Divine Flasks, Onslaught Flask to have more attack speed. Witchfire Blue, which give us Despair free. Quicksilver for movement speed with immunity to freeze and chill, and Dying Sun for additional projectiles. If you don't have Dying Sun, you can use Stignite Flask with small clouds and use. So the build have around 5 million DPS, but with wizard stacks versus bosses, guardian boss, you also have 5 million DPS, so it's enough. It's have good spell suppression, good movement speed. You also have 60% prevent of suppressed spell damage, because we're always on energy shield, on full energy shield, because we recover 12 energy shield on kill. I have all level 3, so you can see how to level that build with Toxic Rain. I also recommend to use Overcharge, because it's our simple way to sustain our frenzy charges, and our frenzy charges is give us a lot of boost, DPS boosts. Also give us endurance charge, so we have a little more defensive layers. It's all that I want to talk about Toxic and Trickster, so let's go to second build. Second build, it's more interesting than first, but a little experimental. It's Spark Trickster with Energy Shield, Chaos Inoculation Trickster. In new ascendancy passives, we have new mode, Soul Drinker. It's give us damage leached as Energy Shield, and Energy Shield leech effects are not removed when Energy Shield is filled. So we wanna take Ghost River, we wanna take all Energy Shield nodes. We have 4.4k Energy Shield. We have around 1 million DPS per one spark. So our spark fires 7 additional projectiles. With Dying Sun Plus you will have 9, or with Pinpoint you will have 12. You can also have Divergent Spark, so you will have around 14 Spark projectiles, so 1 million DPS per Spark. It's good DPS. Main thing of this build is lightning damage. You shock enemies, and you don't use any clusters. It's a build, but you need some Unix items for play this build. So I'd recommend you play with Toxic Rain, Trickster, or Caustic, or maybe Seismic Trap or Sabo. Firstly, to farm some gear. About gear, you need Incandescent Heart. It's a very strong item for this build. You also need Abhorrent Interrogation Glows. It gives us our hits cannot penetrate or ignore elemental resistance, but we not have elemental penetration. But enemies take 4 increased elemental damage from our hits for each wizard we haven't inflicted on them. So it gives us little more damage than some penetration. Also, we need Voidwalker for Pierce. And Torrent Reclamation, it's my recommendation that Harbinger summon Split Stream. So with new passives one step ahead, our action speed at least 108%, and our Split Stream multiple that, so it's big. This gives us a lot of cast speed and movement speed, and cast speed that's all we need at Spark build. You also don't have any charges, you don't need it. You just need spell damage, energy shield nodes, lightning nodes. We don't have Chaos, we don't have our reservation mastery. It's removed, but you don't need it. With this build, you use 3 hours, so you have 200 unreserved mana. Mandatory, I'd recommend to use Discipline, Determination, and Defense banner, so you have around 35k armor. You also can use Herald of Thunder for more DPS for bosses, or Herald of Ice for map clearing. Also, our main link you'll see. If you don't have 6th link body armor, you can use 5 link without faster projectiles. We use Orb of Storm, link with Innovate and Killing Strike for bosses. We have Wave of Conviction and Tornado also for bosses. And Smite with faster attacks for very fat monsters. This build is experimental, but it's strong. You have a lot of defense. You have always full energy shield on you, because polymorphs give us a lot of recovery energy shield, and we have 2% of damage leech. I'd recommend to respect, or if you know how to start on Spark, you can start this build, and maybe I started the build. You can show me in comments below this video your results. Third build, interesting too. It's Flicker Strike on Trickster. Main strategy of this build is a new Swift Killer node. Flicker Strike spans frenzy charges, so you need you need to sustain it, and which more frenzy charges you have, you will have a lot of damage. So +2 to maximum frenzy charges, it's huge. So about gear, you need bronze lead. Bronze lead, it gives us a lot of energy shield because of Trickster, and +5 to level of movement skill gems give us a lot of DPS boost to our Flicker Strike. I'd also recommend to use Replica or Hurried Wrath with overcharged node, because it's our chance to generate our power charges. Power charges give us crit, so it's also derogatory vectors. It gives us +1 to maximum frenzy charge and movement speed. Hyperbore's belt, it's also really cool because it's chill nearby enemies when you focus, and our critical strike chance is lucky, but you need that craft. You need only that craft while unveiled it. Also, it have focus increased cooldown recovery rate, so we can focus always. And important, you need a good glow with around 1.5 or 2 attack per second with 6-7 crit chance and around 300 physical damage DPS. Also, shield is simple. You need life, resistance, and double damage while focus. Helmet with energy shield and flicker strike damage per frenzy charge. Life and resistance on it. On gloves, important, you need Eater and Search in Exile. Molds, you need Cold Exposure and Rage to our Berserk gem. On ring, you need to have stats, life and resistance. Maybe mana cost reduce for our Flicker Strike. About flasks, you need Aziri, Taste, and Since Rebirth. Since Rebirth give us a lot of evasion rating, so and give us Unholy Might. It's a lot of DPS. I'd recommend to buy it. And then Diamond Flask with Crit, and Life Flask, with insta recovery for one shots. About gels, it's simple. Life with critical strike multiplier and inspired learning one. It helps us a lot while you will mapping. So gear is simple, but you need to farm on it. If you know how to play Flicker Strike builds, you can start with Frostblades or Cyclone, maybe Dual Strike, but if you don't know how to start on melee with Assassin, you also can start on Poison Assassin Spectral Helix or Lightning Strike Poison Assassin. But if you wanna start on Flicker Strike, I'd recommend to use Chaos spells like Toxic Rain or maybe Soul Rend. About skills, we have Vortex with Bone Shield, maybe Unbounded, Elements, because it's help to chill our enemies and give us more damage on it. Blood Rage for attack speed and additional frenzy charge generation. Ancestor Protector with Ancestor Warchief with Queen Strike for bosses. About Taurus, you have Wall Grace, Precision and Herald of Ice with Enlighten. It's enough. You can play without Enlighten, but then you need to play with 5 or 10 level your Precision. Brilliant Blades with faster attacks and Berserk, and Assassin's Mark on hit, and Assassin's Mark with Mark on hit. It's increase our damage. It's increase our crit. So about gems quality, I recommend to use multi-strike with divergent quality, because it's additional attack speed. Nightblade with Anomalous quality, its effects of elusive, and Added Cold give us with Divergent quality, it gives physical damage converted 20%, so it's help a lot. Also, I'd recommend to use Phantasmal Ancestor Protector to increase our effects of Ancestor Totem buff, and Assassin Mark with Anomalous with increased damage, and Mark on hit with Divergent, so it's also increased damage. That's all. This builds some experimental, but it have 7 frenzy charges, so I promise that it have 7 maximum frenzy charges, so I believe that builds can play. I played with old Trickster in 3.17 league, and I easily clear tier 16 maps with 2x budget gear. So you can test it. I believe it can work. So, and at final, I also believe that's new node one step ahead at new Winter Orb and Blade Vortex builds in new meta. Maybe like Assassin, or maybe Assassins will use that node with Forbidden Gels, with Surface Heart or Soul Thirst belts, with Winter Orb or maybe Blade Vortex. You can also play Rictus Fire, maybe Soul Rend. I don't recommend to play Essence Drain on the build, or other spell Chaos Dots on Trickster now. In Trickster, good for attack builds or maybe spell builds that need huge cast speed, like Spark, Blade Vortex, Winter Orb, but old Chaos Dot builds not good on it, so I don't recommend to play, but you can test and tell me about. Good luck, and see you in next videos.